Hi, my name is Matthew. I go by Matt Command Online, and I'm on a personal creative cruise. And one of the things that I do on my personal creative cruise is I brainstorm and produce YouTube videos while I'm board ship. What I want to do is spend a few minutes and bring to light some of the features and how Creative Fuel is being used in real life, or at least the way I've been doing it. So I'm a member of Gen X. I'm on the older side of Gen X, so I'm certainly not a member of Gen Z, and I'm certainly not a millennial. I want to make sure we get that clear. Now, one of the things I was really surprised about when I signed about Creative Fuel, and I shouldn't have been surprised because I should have read it, but at the time the promo was so good, I just signed up pretty much sight unseen just to give it a shot, right? It would only be later that the first level of the paid subscription allows you to have 3 channels. Now, what is interesting to me is that I have a channel, the Matt Command channel, which is going through a reinvention, and it sort of doesn't have a direction, and I'm trying to kind of tighten it down to have better focus on that channel. And I have a secondary channel that's really small, super niche. And you wouldn't think that there would be any connection between the 2 channels. One is far larger, it's fully monetized, and the other one is super small and may never get monetized through the YouTube Partner Program. So on the surface, they're very different channels. And yet, because Creative Fuel allows me to have 3 channels, I can actually have 2 different profiles. As a creator, I'm obviously the same person, whether I'm on the Matt Command channel or the Tax Freeze Command channel. However, the audiences are very different. The mission is very different for each of the channels. And what I've learned in the last 45 days of using Creative Fuel is I've set up to 2 different profiles, and when I run ideas, I get similar results in some cases, and I get vastly different results in other cases. And so what I've discovered in working on 2 channels concurrently using Creative Fuel, I get to see Creative Fuel in a way that most creators don't. There are patterns that arise. There is learning that occurs when I run ideation sessions on the very narrow channel versus the more wider, less focused channel. What I feel is, whether they did it intentionally or not, Creative Fuels allows creators permission to set up a second and third channel, and you don't have to pay extra for it. You can change between the different profiles and run ideation ideas, and you get the benefit from the learning of the different channels because you're going after different audiences or you have different missions. Whereas almost all the tools I've ever seen, it's 1 channel and you got to pay 1 fee per channel, and there is no ability to really create a larger effect. But for me, what I have found is using Creative Fuel is that 1 + 1 is not 2. Now, do I want to say that using Creative Fuel is 1 + 1 = 3? I'm not sure I could say that either, but I can tell you that there is a greater effect when you are pursuing 2 or 3 channels. Although I wouldn't recommend it. It is always better to use 1 channel if you can. Put all your energies into it. But in my particular case, the audiences are so different, so I was left with no choice. But I do think that there is an interesting learning effect when you do have 2 channels and you're using Creative Fuel, you're setting up 2 different profiles, and you get to compare the results. So if you find that interesting, I do have an affiliate link below so that you can try out Creative Fuel by yourself. Now, as I understand it, the free version, I don't think you can put a second or third channel, but I'm just simply saying that the observations and my experiences go beyond what's written on paper and the feature list.